Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to bring our Executive Vice President, Mr. Glenn T. Petty, forward to give us a report. Glenn, if you would, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Craig. And I also want to thank Eddie Hook, the Convention Planning Committee, the Agenda and Resolutions Committee, and all the other committees that work directly with the production of this convention. This is my 8th time to stand before you as your Executive Vice President here at the podium at the convention. It does seem that these times are getting closer together, but I am happy to be here. One thing that I've noticed, and I love Cynthia's presentation. She talked from the heart. I have a lot of numbers in my presentation, and there's going to be some charts. So in years past, I've seen a lot of you trying to write numbers. Well, my speech is going to be on the website either during or just after the convention, along with the charts. So that might save you a little note-taking. The first thing that I want to do is to share some of the changes at the office. And I'm going to start with staff. Our staff census consists currently of 47 employees. Actually, from regulation and all, it's 50 is a magic figure that we want to stay below. But I think at 47 employees, we can provide the services that you as members expect. The way that breaks out is that we have 44 full-time employees, 2 part-time, and 1 seasonal temporary employee. During the last 12 months, we've had 10 new hires during the year, and that has been fairly evenly spread out between departments, 3 in the Registry Services Department, 3 in accounting, 2 in marketing, 1 in IT or BT, and 1 in office services. Putting this in context, in meeting with our sister organization, EVPs, what I find is that the average turnover at our sister organizations is about 30%. So we're actually below that. In addition to these new hires, we have just recently reestablished the National Events Department, which we spun out of the Competitions Department. Kelsey Berglund, who has been our event coordinator for U.S. and Canada, is heading that department. In addition, Paige Lockhart will become the National Distance Ride Coordinator within the department, and then Devin Smith, who had been the National Distance Ride Coordinator, is going to be staying in the Competitions Department, and for the show managers and regional directors here, Devin is who you'll be contacting for your show approvals, and working on that. As I shared with you last year, we have a 21,000 square foot, 3-story building in Denver. It's over 30 years old now, and it has started to show its age. But since last year, the HVA system as well as the roof have been repaired or replaced. Our outdated lighting system was also replaced with a modern LED system. And we did all this within a budget of $447,000. Now, let me explain that. And when you look at some of the budget figures occasionally, you'll see one figure and it'll differ. This $447,000 crosses 2 budget years. And with our own cash, except for an arrangement that we had with the lighting people, which gave us 3 years to pay off the lighting at 0% interest, which we're taking advantage of. We've done this all within our existing cash. And as Cynthia had mentioned earlier, one of the benefits of both the HVAC system and the lighting system is reduced costs of utilities. In years past, our utility costs run about $48,000. Presently, over the 12 months since putting them in, they're costing us $28,000. So that's a $20,000 savings there. What you've already heard discussed by Cynthia is another investment within AHA that we're involved in, and that is Future State. This is AHA's association-wide project led by our BT department, and I want to give credit to Bill Richardson, Cynthia's husband, who has volunteered as program manager with us to help do this 3.4-year project, which we have about 3 years ahead of us. But it's going to redefine the way that AHA does business. And in simple terms, we will be striving to do all the business we can, both members and staff, online. I don't expect to ever get paperless, but we want to get as close to that as we can. We've defined a new set of business rules that will implement a transaction-based business model resulting in reduced inefficiencies, streamlined workflows, and an improved customer experience, meaning quicker results. It is my belief that when completed, we will be the envy of our sister breed associations. In the meetings that I've been with them, I'm amazed at, even right now, how far ahead we are. So I'm looking forward to this. In the other area of BT and marketing is our current website project and our financials upgrade, and we're just in the early months of this project, which, as I said, should last about 3 more years. The website project has been pulled in-house and is now making great progress. We did have a great start with the MDP committee in KGB, Texas, for laying out our pages and getting us started. And as we got into the project, it became apparent that working in-house, we can be more flexible. And then as Bill Richardson began working with us, we found that there's so much more that we could do with the website from a business standpoint, not just from a marketing standpoint. Our first release on the website is going to be on January 11th. I know that we had a pretty good crowd in the website demonstration and the Future State discussion yesterday, but I had seen snippets of the website, and actually at the same time that you saw it here at the convention was the first time that I'd seen a sort of an end-to-end live demonstration, and we got a lot of oohs and ahs from within the room, including myself. Cynthia has suggested that given a little time tomorrow afternoon at the end of the general session, that maybe we might be able to show that demo again here. So we'll see how time goes tomorrow. Assisting AHA in funding our website project has been the USA Equestrian Trust and the USEF Grants Program. USEF, in addition to assistance with this project, also assists with other grants, including support for our youth program. Our thanks go to these 2 organizations. I think Chris had to rush out to the airport, but we want to thank Chris Welton for USEF, and also our own Lisa Blackstone, who is Vice Chair of the USA Equestrian Trust, for assisting in the funding of this website project. And I would ask that Lisa and I think we may have some other folks here from USEF, if you would express our gratitude to your organizations, and also from us to Chris and Lisa, we say thank you. AHA essentially has three major areas of activities and service, and membership, registry services, and competitions. And it's interesting that when you look at our budget, that it's about a third. It varies a little bit, but that's our working rule of thumb. Throughout the spring, summer, and fall, we had 18 regional championships, 343 jointly recognized USEF AHA horse shows, which is only 3 shows down from last year, 2014. We had 63 distance rides were held, and this is down from 182 in 2014. We're in the middle of trying to analyze what is happening there. It could very well be that some changes in the sweepstakes program, being the discontinuation of points, could be a factor, but we are going to be analyzing that further. In addition, there were 93 one-day competitions recognized. That's a major increase from the 26 shows that were held the first year in 2011. Looking at a 10-year period, AHA's qualifying competitions show an overall average decline of 2.8% in entries and a decline of 3.2% in horses per year. Indications show that we are probably going to expect that decline, but I hope that we see a reversal. Regarding our national events, all continue to be stable. In the slide before you, U.S. continues to have reached a leveling of participation based on horse count. Youth in Canada, stable also, and sport horse, fairly steady, taking into consideration the East Coast rotation. In July, Youth Nationals held in Albuquerque for the last year had a total of 815 horses entered in the show. The show will be moving, as you know, to Oklahoma City for 2016, and the Youth National Show Commission just returned from a site visit to Oklahoma City that they say went extremely well. There were a total of 77 delegates at the AHYA convention this year. APHA clinics were held again, and we want to give a special thank you to Lisa Jo White and Lori Long for their support as clinicians in these events. Youth were very busy with activities such as flying pigs, their pink flamingo flocking contest, and other fundraisers and fun activities. In August was the Canadian Nationals in Brandon, Manitoba, and despite a VS outbreak in multiple U.S. states, Canada had exactly 700 horses entered in the show, and aided by growing sport horse and working Western divisions, the average class entries per horse were 2.98. Due to increasing entries per horse, a favorable exchange rate, as well as the support provided by all the sponsors and patrons, the show was very successful financially. Distance Nationals, held in September, was located in Oneida, Tennessee, out of the big South Fork National River and Recreation area. You know, the sport horse has its issues by moving around and being outdoors, but this year it had favorable weather, which was wonderful and a very popular ride location, and as a result the championship entries were increased by 53% and open ride entries increased by 25%. One competitor Margaret Claire Summers of Region 12 from Pendleton, South Carolina, rode in all 3 championship rides with 3 Arabians. She placed top 10 in the competitive trail ride, reserve champion in the 50-mile championship, and reserve champion in the 100-mile championship. I think she deserves endurance credit. The 2016 Distance Nationals holds in store for much excitement because this coming year the Distance Commission has invited some other breeds to participate, and the Appaloosa Horse Club has accepted. So for the first time we will be partnering with the Appaloosa Horse Club in the 2016 ride, and that is going to be in September in Oklahoma. Also in September, Sport Horse Nationals was held in a new venue this year in Raleigh, North Carolina. There was 472 horses entered, and sport horses enjoy a good average class participation, and so they average 4.62 classes per horse entered. There were many exciting changes that took place, including a silent auction that benefited both Duke Children's Hospital locally and the Arabian Horsemen's Distress Fund. Also, the courses for the hunters and jumpers were beautifully decorated. U.S. Nationals, well, before I jump to that, let me interject that several of us that were at Sport Horse, led by Cynthia, left Sport Horse and went to New York City to Central Park. Cynthia covered this yesterday, but as you can see from this video, it's a wonderful venue to promote Arabian horses. And then the added benefit while we were there, we had a special visitor, and that the Pope dropped in with his 100,000 friends on the grounds at the same time. I will hand it to New York City. They know how to handle crowds. And actually, as much as we worried about, it was handled beautifully. After that, U.S. Nationals. U.S. had 1,780 horses entered this year. And added classes, the limited rein cow and adult western horsemanship were well received, and there was over $1 million in prize money and awards distributed at the show, including distributions from the Arabian Breeders' Sweepstakes and futurities and maturities. And I think we're going to hear a little bit more from Russ here in a minute on sweepstakes. New this year was the special trophies for the Regional Challenge Breeding Cups. Thanks to the Arabian Foal Festival and Regency Cove Farm, Jack and Elizabeth Milam, for these beautiful bronzes. And points were awarded to each region based on the placings of the horses bred in that region. Region 9 won the overall and performance trophy, and Region 12 won the in-hand trophy. Special attention was paid to decorations, and the show atmosphere there at the pavilion was much changed this year. We had an ad hoc in-hand committee that helped with some fundraising, and all that was very much appreciated, and it did make a difference. We also had a new scoring system, a new scoring company this year there. We had a new video screen, and we had increased warm-up time in the ring, and also new ring personnel there. In the world of Arabian horse racing, there were 134 Arabian horse races held in 2015. There were 92 owners sharing in a total purse of $1,450,000 $666,000. And for those of you that missed Sue Meyer's report on racing at the board meeting a couple days ago, you missed a treat. Saturday. Oh, you will? Okay, very good. Winning a horse race, it pays good prize, good money, and the thing that Sue pointed out was very little expenses. So that works out great. As you can see from the slide on registrations, breeding continues to be in a decline, both for purebreds and partbreds. As of October 31, 2015, we had completed 2,489 Arabian and 717 half Arabian registrations. Both Arabian and half Arabian registrations at this point in time is down 13% over this same time last year. And in visiting with Debbie, we do believe that the amnesty program that we offered in 2013 is still having an effect on us. So these numbers may be skewed a little bit because of that. Our sister breed associations continue in the same trend, as you can see here, very much like our graph was. Transfers continue to mirror registration trends. Common thinking between the breeds for this downward trend is related, believed to be, to the growth of discipline competition where breed ownership papers are not required. And I think that is what our challenge as a breed is to try to figure out a way that we create value in our registration papers for the disciplines. As I stated last year, the Breeder Sweepstakes program follows breeding trends. As a rule, breeding entries track registration numbers at about 35 to 40% ratio. So the Sweepstakes Commission has worked hard to try to improve this trend. Sweepstakes prize money was reallocated in 2015. This includes allocated prize money at the regional and national levels. Prize money is available to more AAO classes at the regional level. Prize money also will be paid $5,000 to the 2015 AEPA Futurity Champion and $3,500 to the half Arabian AEPA Futurity Champion. Allocated prize money was paid out to the national and regional competitive trail and endurance rides in 2015, and it was the first year for sweepstakes prize money to be paid the yearling classes at Canadian Nationals. So for 2016, the following changes will be implemented. Breeder nominator payout will increase from 5% to 10%. Yearling sweepstakes classes at the Canadian Nationals, Sport Horse Nationals, and U.S. Nationals will be restricted to breeding entries only. $5,000 will be awarded to the Arabian AWPA Futurity class at U.S. Nationals. $3,500 will be awarded to the half Arabian Anglo-Arabian AWPA champion at U.S. Nationals, and $15,000 will be available for the Sport Horse National Young Dressage class. Beginning in 2021, all horses competing in this class must be enrolled in as breeding entries. Did I get that date right? That's a piece out. Okay, all right. For more information on this prize money program, please check with our staff. And Russ, when I wrote this, I didn't realize you were speaking behind me. So
neither did Russ.
Okay. All right. Membership. Membership continues to decline for all sister organizations in the same trend as AHA. On a given day recently, AHA had 21,028 members per the anniversary date policy. That last year was about 22,777 at the same day. And for the entire year, we had 30,000 total unique members. This is something that I think that we have to really work on, is retaining these members that we lose each year. And granted, some of them join just to transact business, but we just need to figure out how we can better retain members or attract new members. In my opinion, locally through clubs is the best way that we can both attract and retain members. If you're a president, raise your hand. I challenge clubs and our regions to make membership retention and recruitment to be a major project for 2016. We have so many aerobian owners out there who do not belong to AHA, and we need to reach out to them and spread the word. And what we're going to do is AHA leadership to work with our AHA membership committee throughout the coming year to brainstorm new membership initiatives and concepts. In closing, and as a final thought, I want to comment on AHA's financials. Since coming to AHA 8 years ago, our financials have been a challenge. I didn't come here and find the same thing Chris found. Thank goodness that he did on his second day on the job. But we have, during this period, we have been slowly improving our financials to the point now that AHA has good foundation. These slides show AHA's financial progress, and the first one here is showing the dollar progress, and then the next one is a good visual of our progress. And so I'm not going to restate the Treasurer's report, but I just want to show that AHA is continually improving our finances. So this is a good visual to understand our year-to-year improvements. I continue to be excited about AHA and the Arabian Horse Association's future, and I want you to join me in celebrating the Arabian horse. Thank you.